Joining us today, a special guest, Sergeant Chris Thayne.
Thayne, yes.
With the State Highway Patrol.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been with them?
About 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Well,
Been up here at this post the entire time. So.
This is your first time on the show, right?
Yes.
So Matt put this together for us, which he does on occasion for special guests that we bring in here. And how you been doing, Matt?
Oh, I've been doing pretty good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
keeping busy.
I know you have.
Yeah.
They're very busy. All right, Sergeant, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, the email I got said that you guys wanted to talk about the upcoming programs that we have going on through the Highway Patrol through the summer.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of what we do, we focus on with the juvenile or the young drivers, especially with those that are still in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of our focus that we have. We got several programs that we do. One of the main ones that I'm responsible for it's called 5 Minutes for Life. It's a program where we go to a high school, go to the student athletes that are out practicing, either before or after their practice, and we just talk with them about responsible decision making. We talk to them about leadership, and we talk to them and encourage them about living a drug-free lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we focus on that because a lot of the statistics are showing that the age of the kids getting it, the age is coming down for those that are getting involved with drugs. So we're trying to go lower to try and affect that and make a positive change.
I know we had the prom the other night, and they had a drill, I guess, that a helicopter was involved in, where they do the mock crash.
Yes, the mock crash. That's one of the other programs that we do. They center those around prom. That's when we do most of those at each of the high schools, or majority of them.
It's been fairly successful too, because I don't remember seeing any bad. We've had them in the past, but in recent years it seems like they've curbed that.
The juvenile offenders or violations that we have in this county have actually come down with all the programs that we've initiated or started to do. We have all the juvenile offenders for traffic. They go to a class called Drive to Live, and that's mandated through the court, and that's where they talk about crash, driving safely, not being distracted, not using your cell phone, and the things that can happen from that. So
Sure.
Well, they must be paying attention if the numbers are coming down, if statistics are coming down.
I mean, when I first came on 10 years ago, I mean, it wasn't very hard. You could go out and you could get a juvenile offender, for traffic or anything like that. And now, it's really come down from where we were 10 years ago.
Good.
Which is
shows
an excellent.
It's working.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
Excellent. So.
Yeah. Chris, now, have you always wanted to be in law enforcement?
Matt asked me that just a little bit ago, and I can't say that it was always something that I wanted to do. It's something that's always interested me.
Right.
I'm originally from Colorado, and I had applied out there.
Yeah.
And made it through most of their process.
How the heck did you end up here?
Prior employment brought me out here.
Yeah?
And I was living down in Columbus and just tried again with Ohio State Highway Patrol and made it through their process and been here since.
Speaking of Colorado, they got nailed with a winter storm.
Yes, they did.
It was terrible. Oh my God! I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But I have family that lives in Colorado, and they love it. They absolutely love it there. It's a beautiful country.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. So you were not originally from the Kingsville County?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, from Colorado. Born and raised there.
I'll be darned. So I am very happy to hear that this education that you're providing for our young people out there is working. I'm hoping that it'll and Matt and I have talked about this in the past, is boiling over in the drug awareness too, because we have a terrible situation in Asheville County, according to our sheriff's department, that drugs are pretty rampant out there.
They are. It is. It's becoming more commonplace that we find drugs in vehicles or on people. It's becoming much more commonplace.
Do you go out on the street to patrol and that sort of
Yes.
stuff? Have you? I'm sure you have. Have you come across these kind of incidences out there regarding drugs?
Oh yeah.
On these people. Do you guys have a canine?
The patrol does. We have canines. We've got 2 canines in our district, just in this district alone. And then we have, obviously we reach out to, you've got Geneva has canines, Asheville City, Conneaut.
Yeah.
A lot of our other little departments here in the county have canines that we utilize. The sheriff's department, so it's obviously a network that we use.
It amazes me how they can teach these animals how they can sniff narcotics. But
Remember we had that one
yeah,
drug sniffing dog here on
Yeah.
the program.
Oh, did you?
didn't you get beat up by that dog?
Yeah.
I remember.
First
out
he
there.
found drugs in my car, which was, we took the cameras outside, and they put drugs in my
Yeah.
car, and the dog walked around the car
Yep.
and sat down right
Yep.
where it
Knew
was.
it.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Very smart.
Then we were talking about the panic button that they
Yeah.
have,
They
that
can
the
release
officer
the
carries.
dog. Yeah.
And
I got to go back and look at that video again.
that was pretty funny.
It was hilarious.
They put one of those big suits on.
Oh
me,
yeah.
Those,
The bite
I think
suit.
you were
The
screaming
bite
like a
suit,
little
yeah.
girl at one point there.
I think I was. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun day.
He hit that button and that dog come busting out of
Oh,
there and nailed me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
It
hilarious.
was nasty.
Oh boy.
It was a fun program.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to rerun that again. Sergeant, what about some other programs that you got out there?
Coming up, actually, this Saturday, it ties in with the Drive to Live program that we have. It's through the Asheville County Safe Communities. They are bringing in two individuals for a presentation. It's J.C. Good and Steve Johnson. And the title of the presentation is Hang Up and Drive. And what that is Friday they're going to, I believe they're going to Geneva High School and then Edgewood High School. And they're giving this presentation, and I believe it's J.C. Good was in a crash where the other person was distracted by a cell phone. And her life was changed because of that crash. And she now goes around and speaks to because the other driver was also a teenager, I believe.
Yeah.
And so she goes around and she talks to the kids and to show them what the consequences of just picking up that cell phone.
Oh man, that's a great program because I see so much of that.
We could tape that.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one to.
So Friday they're going to the 2 high schools, and they're doing that during the day at the high schools. And then Saturday is actually at Lakeside High School, and that's open to the public. Anybody can come. It's at the auditorium there, and it's free. And again, they're just talking about the consequences that can occur from just picking up that cell phone.
I want to talk to
or
you
being
about that
distracted.
if you
Yeah.
could. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Pat. Hey, this is Jim again.
Yes.
Hey, I wanted to ask the sergeant a question. When a young person, 16, gets their driver's license, do they have any restrictions? Here in California, when a young driver gets his driver's license, they cannot go and haul their buddies around and their friends for 2 years. I think it's till 18. And I think that's a good thing because, you know how young kids are. Get distracted, hey, let's go and do this, hey, let's go get some drugs, but I think that was a pretty good idea that they come up with here.
I don't know if they have that in Ohio or not.
We do. It's a lot of it's when they're 16. I believe it's 16 to 18. They're only allowed to carry up to one individual that's
Really?
not family.
So we didn't have that back in my day.
Pennsylvania had it.
Yeah.
If it's family, then they can carry the whole family in the car, but they are limited to one other friend
Never knew that.
in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Jim.
Okay, hey Matt, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How you been?
Real good.
You'd be home in a week or so, won't
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
you? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thanks for that. I just thought I'd throw that in. I wondered if Ohio had that deal.
Okay, Jim. Thank you.
Okay,
See
bye.
you soon.
Calling from Anaheim, California, streaming us out there. I really am bothered because I do not do it. I probably couldn't do it because I'm not coordinated enough. But I'm bothered by people that use cell phones while they're driving. How does that work, Chris? If you see somebody driving, talking on a cell phone, do you have the jurisdiction to stop them?
Not if they're not doing anything wrong.
Really?
We can't. It's a secondary violation here in the state of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
But if they commit another violation, then we can stop for that primary violation. So
Okay.
if they're speeding, or if they drive out of their lane, or don't whatever violation
Right.
they commit that's a primary violation, then we can stop, and we can use that to also address the cell phone
Okay.
issue.
Matt, correct me. It seemed like we passed an ordinance here about cell phone driving.
Texting.
Was it texting?
Texting, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a different violation, then, right?
Yeah, well, the cell phone use, just using a cell phone isn't a violation. It's the texting that is the violation. That's a secondary
But
violation.
you're taking your eyes off the.
Correct. Because usually, people, if they're calling somebody, it's either speed dial or it's just a quick button. And then, they still get distracted.
Sure.
Even doing that, you'll have the people that sit in the left lane, driving down the freeway oblivious to all the cars that are behind them.
Right.
Just because they're talking on the cell phone. The only thing that's different to that is for those that are ages 16 to 18, it is illegal for them to be on any type of device, period. And that is
Really?
a primary offense that we can stop for.
Really?
But obviously we have to be able to articulate that we assume, we can believe they're under the age of 18 in that regard to stop for that. But
Covering a lot of good stuff dealing with juveniles. I asked them during the break about the proposed helmet law. They're talking about bicyclists 16 and younger. And your answer was anything safety-wise?
anything safety-wise to help people, help protect them. Bicycles, according to law, you're going to ride with traffic, so you're blind to what's behind you
Right.
coming up. A bicycle, by law, is allowed that lane to travel in. So they're like a vehicle,
Yeah.
but a lot of times they're not treated that way
Right.
on
Right.
the roadway.
Right. What's the law with motorcycles and helmets? Is that
Ohio does not have a helmet law.
which I'm surprised.
Very,
I'm really
yes.
surprised.
hmm
That's something that a lot of states do have that. You mandated to wear a helmet. Matt, do you have any things you want to talk about?
I know I always wore my helmet when I was riding a motorcycle.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
even back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
The only law that Ohio does have with that is when you do get your motorcycle endorsement, that you're required to wear that helmet for 1 year.
Really?
And any passengers that you have on the motorcycle with you. And then once you get out of that year, then it becomes optional.
That's crazy.
So-
Once you got it
Yeah.
enforced, you use it,
So
forever.
it is for 1 year once you get the endorsement
Okay.
that it's required.
I wasn't aware of that.
That wasn't either.
I just thought you got your endorsement and just go.
No, you're considered a novice rider for 1 year, and then it becomes optional once the novice part wears off.
Okay.
So.
Okay. These programs, of course, as Chris said during the break, are kind of centered around juveniles. They're trying to keep these youngsters educated and protected as they grow up. Something that I must say, I don't remember that much of that stuff going on when I was a kid a long time ago, but since over the years I have covered a lot of things where the Highway Patrol and local police and law enforcement officers have tried to educate more and more, and I really think, as Chris said, it seems to be working.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Obviously, if you can change a habit earlier, it's easier
Mm-hmm,
than somebody
True.
who's been driving that way for 10, 20, 30 years.
Sure, that's exactly right.
It changes the way, so if we can affect that sooner,
Mm-hmm.
get that change and maybe get it ingrained a little bit sooner.
Do you have any provisions as far as not being able to cover certain areas? Are you limited to certain roadways?
Just the state of Ohio.
Really?
That's our jurisdiction, is the state of Ohio. Any public roadway,
Okay.
we can go onto, we can enforce. We try and stay out of like Conneaut. You've got your own police department out here, so we kind of let them do
Right.
their policing. Obviously, we'll come in. We've come in to work with Ashtabula City. We've come in to work with Geneva. I believe we've come out here to Conneaut before. If there's a big issue that they're having, we're more than happy to go in and help with any issues and help the local police department. So.
What about portable scales? Does Ashtabula County have portable scale master, trained officer?
I know Conneaut has some portable scales, officers trained.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure how active they are. I do
Right.
know that they have a couple officers that did that.
Not sure if that's still in effect though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they've just kind of pushed
Yeah.
that aside or what. But the county itself does not have a portable weigh scale.
No.
The patrol does. We have one that's our district, which encompasses, I believe, 9 counties.
Yeah.
And they'll go around district wide and just do different counties.
'Cause I'm thinking about the Amboy Bridge being shut down and all the truck traffic going on Creek Road and
We've actually been working Creek Road quite a bit.
Yeah.
We have, and there's not a lot of truck traffic coming through there that we're seeing. So I think a majority of it is going Route 7 down to 90 and around.
Okay.
Unless it's going up through North Kingsville. That would be the only alternative.
We have scales out there though, right on 90,
Yes.
regular
Yeah.
scales.
Yes.
But I had a guy call in the other day, he was a truck driver, and some guy had called in prior to him and said, there's an awful lot of trucks going down 20, and the truck driver said,
oh, I heard that. That guy got mad.
he got very mad.
Yeah, he got.
Yeah, he said, if you can get away with it, why worry about it,
Yeah.
more or less. But he admitted basically that if you can get around the scales, you can do that and,
Right.
and not get cited. I did get this in this morning regarding the Amboy Bridge. At the intersection of North Amboy and Route 20, you would think that the bridge, with the bridge out, they would have a flashing traffic light. And I guess I haven't been up that way. I haven't noticed that there is a flashing traffic light there or not, But
At the intersection, is that what it looks like they're referring to?
yeah, intersection of North Amboy and Route 20.
I actually just came through that. The traffic light is flashing. It's only, for Amboy, it's on a red flasher with
Okay.
stop signs posted. And then Route 20 just has the yellow flashers. But up in the distance, you can see the roadway closed,
Okay.
barricades and everything.
Okay, so you came down Creek Road.
Yeah, I came down Creek to Amboy.
Yeah,
That's the
okay.
way I came today.
Okay.
He's driving one of them new Dodges.
A what?
One of the new Dodge police cars.
Oh yeah?
Oh, they're sharp.
Yeah.
That's a good looking car.
I'll
Yeah.
take a look at that at the break.
Yeah.
Any other programs, Chris, that you got going there?
Coming up here at the end of May, we have our Click It or Ticket campaign, which
That's a
is
seatbelt.
That's the seatbelt, and that's nationwide. Obviously, we're always looking for people not wearing their seatbelts, but the main enforcement is this Click It or Ticket campaign, which is May 18th through May 31st.
Now, is that a primary violation?
That again is a secondary violation here in the
That's what I
state of
thought.
Ohio. So we got to catch you doing something else first, and then we can address the seatbelt issue with that as well.
I just told Chris the story about getting stopped in North Kingsville for speeding, and I was not wearing my seatbelt. However, at that time, this is like 10, 15 years ago, they weren't as stringent as they are now. Now, if you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're probably going to get a ticket.
Yeah, and a good reason why we enforce that the way that we do is if you just look at our numbers from last year, we had 9 fatalities last year. Of those 9, 7 were not wearing their
Is
seatbelt.
that right?
So I mean, it's, I mean, 7 out of 9 doesn't really seem like a lot, but if you can save even one person's life by getting them to wear the seatbelt,
Is it from injection, being ejected out of the?
it can be a combination of it. I mean, depending on the speed. I mean, high speed getting ejected out, yeah, that can, that can do it. But if it's low speed, you're kind of like a ping pong ball inside the vehicle. And if there's more than one occupant, then you're hitting off of each other, and you can do a
Never
lot
thought
of
of it that way.
damage on a human body not wearing the seatbelt. So
You can get a doctor's slip if you have a problem wearing a seatbelt,
yeah.
and I guess that protects you if
It does. I mean, obviously, we encourage people to wear the seatbelt if they can. I mean, there's some instances. I know pacemakers are
Right.
put in, on the shoulder there, which can be irritated and that type of stuff.
I wear
But,
my seatbelt and I got a pacemaker.
so, yeah, I mean, it comes down to the individual. Some people can try and get away with it,
Sure,
and other
sure.
people just wear them.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I just turned the TV on just a few minutes ago. I don't know what the current topic is, but there's a question come up several days ago among friends. I wanted to ask what the law looks at in regards to this non-alcohol beverage, whether that's considered illegal to have it in the car, open container, and so forth.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
For non-alcohol?
Yeah,
For what?
open container with non-alcohol.
Well, I mean, if it doesn't, are we talking like the energy drinks, or what kind of? I'm not sure.
Say a can of pop.
I mean there's no issue having any open container as far as for pop or
Okay.
anything non-alcoholic. The only issue is going to be when it does contain the alcohol.
Alcohol.
But they have that beer that they call non-alcoholic beer.
Yes.
And I think that's what he's referring to. But I think that stuff even has
It
like
has a
2%,
little bit, yeah.
It has like 2% beer in it.
What would you do with that, Chris?
I mean, again, if it contains alcohol
Of any?
of anything of any
Amount.
kind, I mean, because I mean, yeah, you may have to drink more of it
Yeah.
to get up over the legal limit,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it's still alcohol.
Yeah.
It's still alcohol.
So if you have a can of pop or something like that, or water or whatever, you're okay. It's anything with alcohol of any type or amount, you're going to be in trouble. So
Correct.
that answers that question
Yeah.
very well.
Because I think that's what he's referring to.
Yeah, probably.
Near beer, they call it.
Near beer. God, I haven't
Yeah.
heard that forever.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still out there.
It sure is. I know.
You know, it's
I
still
know.
out there.
See, check our emails to see if we have any.
I got Chris coming to our Discovery Day this year. Well,
Oh, really?
I think it's going to be Chris.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. According to Lieutenant Simon, it'll be. But he's going to come out and talk about.
Good. A lot of people go to that.
Yeah.
Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning, this is Linda. How are you?
Good.
Good morning, Linda.
Hi. On that seatbelt, which I do wear one, but several years ago I had an automobile accident and I did not have a seatbelt on, but my insurance man told me, he said, you were lucky you did not have one on, because when my accident happened, my car went end over end
Whoa.
and I hit a house. And so if I would have had a seatbelt on, I would have lost my head, because my roof was crushed right down to the back of the seat
When the heck was this?
in '72.
I don't remember that. That's a pretty bad accident. Very bad accident.
Yeah.
I mean-
I was at Joyce's and came back home, but anyway, my insurance man told me, he said, Linda, he said, I don't tell you not to wear one, but he said, you were lucky that you didn't have one on at that time, because you would have been dead.
There are instances where
Yeah, so I mean, it's safe to wear them, but sometimes it isn't safe to wear them, so.
And when we're honestly, when we're out talking with people on traffic stops, that is something that comes up quite a bit. Is people, they either know somebody or they've been involved in a crash where, you know, somebody said that if they were wearing it they would have died. And I mean, my response to that is that I generally don't argue with people. I mean, people die wearing seatbelts and people die not wearing
Well,
seatbelts.
that's true. You know, I mean, it was just that accident, but I mean, them things do happen. But I mean, yeah, it is safe to wear them.
Because you've got a lot of variables that go into a crash.
Yes,
If you're looking at high speed,
Right.
or if the size of the cars.
Well, I tried to
and that
miss
type of
a
thing.
skunk in the road.
So, I mean, yeah, I generally don't argue with people on that point. But I mean, the purpose of the seatbelt is to minimize injuries, and usually that's what it's going to do. It's going to create. I mean,
It's
we've
a
had,
higher percentage.
yeah, definitely,
Definitely.
definitely a higher percentage of injuries being minimized. And I mean, we've had several crashes even just recently where, I mean, a car's been utterly destroyed, and the person walks away because they were, you know, wearing the seatbelt. And cars are made completely different than they were in 1972, so that it allows, you know, I mean, people are better protected,
Sure.
usually within the car. So, I mean, you got a lot of variables that go with that.
Okay, well, I'm going to hang up. Thank you very much, but I just, you know,
Sure.
that was one thing that happened to myself, and that's what my insurance man told me. But I mean, I do wear my seatbelt, and I don't like to, but I do.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
Linda.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's cheaper to wear.
It's cheap. It's cheaper to wear the seatbelt.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you anything. So.
Obviously, a lot of good programs here that Chris has been telling us about, Sergeant Thayne. Anything else coming up?
Just through the summer, we're going to have OVI checkpoints. We've got several planned throughout the summer.
Operator vehicle.
Operating vehicle impaired.
Impaired.
DUI. A lot of people
DUI.
know it as DUI.
Right.
OVI, same thing. So we'll have we've got quite a few checkpoints planned, and along with that, we'll have a lot of OVI saturation patrols, which is where we just focus on areas where we're noticing that there's where we have a high arrest rate for OVIs or DUIs.
Okay.
We'll go in and just focus that area with just OVI saturation patrols.
You know what I'm seeing a lot, Chris? I get police reports every day from the police department.
Mm-hmm.
It almost is standard every day. Matt knows this. There are so many people that are driving without licenses and insurance. It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
And they're getting nailed. You'd think that they would wake up and say, this isn't going to work. You know, I better do.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of once people get into that situation, it's kind of like they just keep getting deeper and deeper in the hole, because Ohio assesses reinstatement fees to get that license back, and they can, depending on the type of ticket and suspension that you get caught under, those fees can mount up very quickly.
Wow.
And I mean,
Thousands.
I mean, you got a lot of people that are already struggling with finances and stuff like that, and then to add that on top of it,
Yeah, just
becomes unbearable quickly.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I was just wondering about this. I've got an 09 handbook. The sergeant knows anything about the motorcycle muffler laws.
Okay, we'll find out.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got a book, 09. It says no motor vehicle, including motorcycles, shall be equipped with an exhaust system which would produce excessive, unusual noise.
Okay, well, see what he has to say, okay?
The part that's going to come into play on that is that the state of Ohio does not have an exact law that prohibits the decibel levels. You have city ordinances that can set the decibel levels.
Okay.
The thing that we look at in that law is that they are equipped with an exhaust system and a muffler. Motorcycles are extremely difficult. They have the baffles within the mufflers that they remove, and that's what gives them that that loud sound. But drivers and owners are getting tricky on making it look like that baffle is still in there when it's actually removed in there. So it's very difficult for us to enforce the actual loud or the level of the muffler itself. But I mean, it's definitely an issue. Where it comes more into play is going to be in your towns and cities and villages that have an actual ordinance set for that. Because we don't carry decibel readers in our patrol cars for that. So
there you go.
Well, you carry 2 ears on your head. If you can hear, you don't need a gauge. Here's the problem.
Unfortunately, that doesn't go well with us in court for us on that. But I mean, we hear them. But like I said, I mean, they make it to where it appears that the baffles are there, and I mean, we can't go ripping into mufflers and exhaust systems to do that.
Maybe you need to take the judge out and let him listen.
Yeah.
But here's my problem. A few years ago, they were cracking down on all the teenagers for boom boxes.
Yes.
A boom box would go by my house, and I'd hear it for maybe a minute. I can hear a motorcycle all the way from Conneaut to Kingsville and beyond.
Right.
And it seems like nobody can hear it but me.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, good question. Good point.
Apparently they're not going by the book.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Yeah, we have an ordinance here, and like for the music, too loud, that sort of stuff, they will stop you for that here. Mm-hmm. Getting a lot of calls this morning.
Yeah.
Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning, Pat. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, how are you,
Hey,
Mark?
Mark.
Good. Hey, I have to agree with that last caller. I've been saying that for many years. And leave the guys alone with the loud mufflers on the cars, too. You know, it should be fair. I mean, I can hear them. I live uptown, and I can hear them going all the way into PA just about.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
But Linda, her comment, I've talked to paramedics saying, you know, if you would have had your seatbelt on, you know, you wouldn't have been where you're at. But my mom was in a really bad accident last year, and she had one on, and she was lucky to be alive. So it's like a 50-50 shot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right, you gentlemen have a great day.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, Mark.
Bye-bye. Before I let you go, Sergeant, on the news last night, 2 officers stopping a car for a routine traffic stop, murdered by the people inside the vehicle. And they said in the news last night, 126 officers have died in the line of duty in the last year. High number of officers.
I post them all the time.
I know you do. You post them on Facebook, and
Yeah.
I observe them all the time. It just seems like it's getting worse and worse out there for you guys, and
It does.
we certainly want to thank you for your duty out there. And I mean, you never know, when something like that.
It's never a routine traffic stop. I mean, you got to be on your toes for every traffic stop, even pulling up for somebody that maybe just parked on the side of the road.
Sure.
You never know what you're walking up into.
Right. Keep up the good work,
Thank you.
Sergeant, and
Thanks for
thank you
coming
so
on.
much for taking the time to come in.
Not a problem.
Very educational stuff.
Yeah.
I
it was good.
didn't know any of it.
I think he's better than Lieutenant Sutton.
I think he is. We'll have him back. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.